Hello, hello, hello. Are we on? Yes, we're on live. Please ignore the backdrop. The backdrop didn't go as planned, so I'm going to have to get another backdrop up, even though it's a shame because this is a diivaglitz sign and look, it's backwards. So I don't know how to turn the screen around, but we will figure it out. So I just decided to start this series from last week because it is a must, because I had planned to do, like I said in my previous series, which is Become Her diivaglitz, it's called, on my Let's Talk page, but I cannot connect it to my live right now because I do not have enough followers on my page, because I haven't uploaded enough videos. So hi everyone, let's start. This is series 2. I will be bringing this series until I tell you otherwise, and it is fantastic. I will be going back and forth on my notes because I have to, and I'm just going to really go for it for you, and it is going to change your life. Okay, so this is called How Small Mindset Shifts Create Big Life Changes. And because it's live, I'm just going to be myself, my authentic self. I'm not here to be fake. I'm just here to share with you all, share information, educate as well, and to also coach. Mainly, this is what I'm doing in order for us all, including myself, to reach our next levels, because micro concept steps are very important. And when I get round to it, when I feel that I've spoken enough about micro concept steps, we will move forward to micro concept work. And I will be probably doing a series only about micro concept steps, and it might interweave into micro concept work, and then it might interweave into micro concept steps, because they are quite similar, but you need to understand the difference in order to get the best results. We want the results. This is what I'm about. Transformation. I am a transformation coach. Cheers everyone. This is my herbal tea that I'm drinking to keep me calm and relaxed. So sometimes we hear ideas about growth or mindset and they sound inspiring, yes, but we're not always shown how to actually apply them. So the small steps that turn an idea into something you can practice in your everyday life is very good for you. So we're looking at small steps, because becoming the woman you want to be doesn't usually happen through one big moment. We all know that. So a lot of people are giving us information in that type of aspect, and I don't mean to be negative, but it's dangerous. Let me just throw it out there. Okay, so this is why I'm doing these lives, because I've experienced it myself, and I know it is not helpful to be giving people information where it's just it's too much of a big goal, and like it seems like all they're talking about is their big goal that they've already achieved, and they just want to share it all because everyone's giving them attention because they have achieved a humongous milestone. I'm not against those people, but I'm here to support those people that need to understand their micro concept steps to gain clarity on their next level, because we want to reach the next level. Okay, so think about it. What next level do you want to reach? Let's just have a little think about it now before I move on. Okay. So it happens through small decisions repeated over time. So you might want a journal and pen, And you can write this all down. And tonight I'm going to show you the simple process behind it. So I'm going to start with a visualization, because I always start with visualization, because if anyone's feeling like stressed out right now, or their life is still in the old self, then I want to just wind you down, relax you, in order for you to digest this new information. Because I know sometimes we might want immediate changes today, but we need to understand that we need to take the steps to get to the changes that we need first. So we don't want to come from urgency, we don't want to come from emergency, and we don't want to come from desperation. Because all of that is low vibrational. Not that you're a bad person and that you're not good enough. Don't think about that when I'm speaking like this, because I know I used to feel, oh my gosh, my mic's all the way over there. I forgot about my mic as well. I used to feel like this, because I'm so interested in doing this live today. Sorry about this. I'm so interested in helping and supporting women, because I know what I've been through, and I know the lack of support I haven't received, and how long it's taken me to piece together all of this information. So I will be reading from my notes, because I feel it's very, very important to make sure that I give you everything that I know is going to make a change. So bear with me. This is not a quick fix. I know everybody wants a 60-second video to watch so they can just get it just like that, but life doesn't work like that. Yes, I used to be like what I'm saying, so don't feel like you're not good enough. We need to rise the vibration. We need to feel good enough about ourselves. So I'm going to be doing a guided meditation right now. If you need be, which I think you will need, is a pen and a paper, a journal, if anything, notebook, anything you've got. But in the future, buy yourself a nice journal with maybe a nice affirmation at the front, or some flowers, or whatever is going to align with you in feeling wonderful about yourself. And bring, next week I will be back, a nice herbal drink or anything that makes you feel happy, and buy yourself a nice cup. See, I bought myself a nice cup that represents diivaglitz lifestyle. So let's just slow down. I'm going to close my eyes for a second. And we don't need to rush. Not at all. It's just not worth it. The rushing just brings the stress. It brings too much noise. It brings too much clutter to the mind. Too much chaos. And it just makes you feel like you're supposed to reach number 10 when you're supposed to be at 1. So let's just get rid of all of that noise, all of what you're supposed to do next. Let's just forget about it. Forget about what's next. If you're thinking about cooking dinner right now, forget about it. If you're thinking about something with the children, please, if you've got children, try your best to make them sit down with you, or get someone else to just take care of them right now. Obviously, if you've got a beautiful newborn baby, it might be a bit difficult, but try and give her a bottle, or give her something to soothe, or him, to just soothe him or her. But this time is for us, because I'm including myself as well, because we're all here in the same room to progress. Yeah, it's about progression. It's about transformation. It's about remembering who we are. Okay, so let me start. So before we begin today's conversation, I'd like to take a few minutes, like I said, to slow down together. So many of us arrive into moments like this, carrying thoughts, worries, or distractions from the day. So for the next few minutes, we're simply going to create a small space of calm. If you're able to, gently relax your shoulders, because you can feel it if they're not relaxed or not. Let your body settle into the chair or wherever you're sitting. And if it feels comfortable, you can soften your gaze and gently close your eyes, because that will probably be the best thing to do right now. Just close your eyes and relax. Now begin by taking a slow breath in through your nose and slowly breathe out. Again, breathe in slowly and breathe out. Allow your breath to become calm and natural. There is nothing to force, because a lot of us force the breath as well. We don't need to force it. Just do it gently and calmly. Just allow the breath to flow, like I said. Now imagine that with every breath out, you are releasing some of the tension from the day. Because we all have it, but a lot of us sometimes do not realize it's there, because we are not guided to understand what we are going through. It's not supported, what I'm speaking about. That's why a lot of people will come away from this life, but they'll probably come back to it later, because they're not accustomed to understanding what I'm talking about. Yes? People have to catch up. So let's it soften with each breath. Pause. Now bring your awareness to the present moment, right here, right now, for these few moments. There is nowhere you need to rush, nothing you need to fix. You are simply allowing yourself to pause, and you're allowed. Now I'd like you to imagine something gently. Imagine the version of you that you are slowly becoming. The woman who has grown through experiences, who has learned about herself and who continues to evolve. You don't need to see every detail, just sense her presence. Notice how she carries herself. Notice the calm she may have, the confidence she may have developed, the understanding she has gained about herself. Now imagine that she is not far away in the future. And that one is very nice, because I will be talking about all of this for you to really gain it and understand it. If you want to go over this guided meditation again, you can. She is simply a few steps ahead of you. Just a few steps. Every time you learn something new, every time you shift a thought, every time you take a small action that supports your growth, you move a little closer to her. You do not need to become her all at once. I don't want it to be overwhelming. You simply move towards her one step at a time. Take another slow breath in and gently breathe out. And as we begin our conversation today, allow yourself to remain open and curious, not expecting perfection. We do not have perfection here at all. Just exploring new ideas and possibilities. And when you're ready, bring your attention back to the room around you. Take one slow breath and we will begin our conversation. Let's just have a pause. So welcome everybody. I hope you enjoyed that guided meditation. I didn't put no music on in the background because I don't want them to take me off the live. I don't know about these copyright laws they have, etc. It's just got out of hand. You know, music's meant to be for us to just share. But, you know, when you do a guided meditation, put music on behind, or mind the music that you're listening to. depending on your vibes, but we'll talk about that another time, because you don't want it to be too low vibrational, because I feel like music that is very low hertz is for people that are very unwell. So you need a higher hertz music, like they got happy music on YouTube. I generally, when I do any type of videos or audios around guided meditation, I always have high vibrational music in the background to keep us in a high tempo. It's very important. So welcome to the Become Her series, Become Her diivaglitz, and I want you to really zone in. Don't really look at what I'm talking about and what I'm doing, because my eyes will be back and forth. You know, I do like to look around the room, and I do like to get involved in what I'm saying as well, because I end up getting a lot of ideas from what I'm saying, because I'm still becoming her as well. I will always be becoming her, because I enjoy becoming her, because I'm always doing some type of writing, or I do songwriting, I do videos, and I'm very like adventurous and interested in too many different things. This is why I'm always becoming her. So it depends on each individual. You don't need to be me, I don't need to be you. You just be you, and whatever you're trying to become right now, just enjoy it. Write down what it is today. If it's 1 goal, 2 goals, 10 goals, fine. Do what you need to do for you. Alright, so if you joined me last week, we talked about micro-concept work, the idea that small shifts in thinking and behaviour, thinking and behaviour can create powerful changes in the life we experience. So today I want to go a little deeper, because one thing to understand about concept, it's one thing to understand about concept, but it's another thing to actually apply it in the way that will change your life. And this is what we want. We want changes. So today we're going to talk about micro concept steps. Sorry, my kitten, where's she gone? Micro concept steps, the simple steps that allow you to take small ideas and turn it in, or a small idea, it can be an idea, and turn it into something you actually practice in your everyday life. So this is what micro concepts is. It's about practice every day, and it's very nice. I do it every day. People might think, you know, that it might be rigorous and too time consuming for them, but at the end of the day, you have to care about your life. And this is what I say, because a lot of people say to me when I speak to them about what I do online, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of work. But it's your life, so how can it be a lot of work? You want changes in your life, so you're going to put into yourself. And it's just a pattern of behaviour that people are just not used to. That's what it is. So I want to come here in this space for you to get used to what you really want to change in your life. And then give yourself 30 days and you're going to love it, because you're going to say, hey, I'm so glad I've done this for myself. I know in my life there's been some very negative things that have happened to me in my past, yes. And due to the fact, I'm going to just use this one example, due to the fact that I've had to deal with certain issues with people mainly, speak in a certain way, because they didn't even understand what I'm talking about here and now, didn't create the life that I needed. So I found out this information because I knew that I was looking at certain goals and I didn't manifest them, and I needed to manifest them because they were important for my you know, Maslow and his pyramid basic needs. So when it's your basic needs, it is very humongously important. So when I was around certain people and they couldn't help me fulfill, this is in the past, they couldn't help me fulfill my basic needs, and it gets very serious because people get very serious health problems, I had to look for information that was going to support my growth. And this is what I found: micro concept steps that will make changes in any level. It doesn't matter if you're in business, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a single mother, if you're on benefit. I don't care where you're coming from. Depression, got mental problems. I'm not here to judge anyone. You could be an entertainer. I've spoken to me. I'm into music. I know music people. Someone's always going through something. We might go through a situation and say, hey, everyone's life is perfect, but you don't know what anyone's going through, because everyone is subjected to watching perfection, and no one's showing anything that's imperfect, because nobody wants to know that. So a lot of people put up a mask. Now, I do want this mask to go. I'm not saying that you're supposed to not live your best life, but what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, let's be truthful to what we really need to do in order to get to the steps we want to get to, in order to feel whole and secure within and without. So we can look good outwardly, but we can also look good and feel good inwardly as well. Why not? We might as well have the best of both worlds, isn't it? So let's look at this now. So like I said, I really want to give the best I can give in this show. I'm just looking at my notes. I've lost where I am in my notes, and I'm not going to deny that either. So let me find where I am so we can get back on track. So basically, we're going to look at segment 1, and I need to get a new tripod because this tripod is really rubbish. It's too high, so I just can't look at my notes properly because I'm coming from a structure today. So what is microconcept steps? I did run through it last week, but I'm going to run through it again. So before we get into the step, let's just simplify something here. A microconcept step is a small idea of awareness that can influence how you think, behave, and see yourself. So those 3 steps would be interesting to write down for you, because when you know, think your thoughts, your behavior, and how you see yourself, it's all going to make perfect sense like soon enough. But the steps in what turns that idea into action. This is what we're looking at, the steps that you need to turn it into action. Because a lot of people are talking about mindset. And I know how hard it is to change your thinking. I've done it over and over and over again. And especially if you're stressed out, it's hard. Or if you've got a certain routine in life, or you go into work, you cannot really change your mind to the way you want it to be, because you're not living that life yet. So it causes a lot of conflicts, and it causes a lot of disheartenment and feeling that you're not good enough. Yeah, so mindset work is good. I'm not saying that it's not good, but when you are identically living the life that you want to live, then you can do a lot more mindset work. But when you have to transition from, say, mother to decorating house, to doing shopping, to going to a job, to building a business, to, changing in your relationship, to changing your clothes image, I think you get my picture, then, a lot will be going on in your shifts, in changing when it comes to mindset. But when you understand the steps you need to take, it's a whole different ball game. The steps will not be hard for you, but if you have to shift, like you said, the mind thinking, then, because it said thoughts, words, then action, it's a little bit more difficult. That is for people that generally maybe have millions of pounds already, because they can pay for what they want. They can basically not live identically how they want, but more or less they're more freer than somebody that's maybe getting 6 figures or 2 figures or even 1. Okay, so I have to be there for everyone generally when it comes to microconcept steps. So take in the steps. But what I want to say is, the steps is what turns the action, idea into action. So you can write down idea, and then it will turn it into action. So if you can write that down, if you've got a pen and paper, the steps is what turns the idea into action. So you have to know what you are looking to become. Okay, so you might hear the concept, confidence grows with patience. Confidence grows with patience. Just listen to it. Does it? Not really. It grows with practice. But the steps might be speaking at once in a meeting. How do you feel about that? Expressing an opinion. Trying something new. Are you prepared for it? Everything I'm speaking about is what I've been through. I've tried something new and I was not prepared within. Like, I've started music production. I wanted to do this as a little child. Sorry, my eyes keep feeling a little bit funny. I haven't got my glasses. So I wanted to be a singer. I've spoken about this over and over again. If you ever listen to me, then you would know that I speak like this. So I've started a music production course. Now, I've been with my teacher for probably about 6 months, maybe a little bit longer. I didn't know, even though I'd done so much music production, self-taught training myself, that I wasn't prepared within myself to take the steps. It's taken ages for the teacher to understand where I'm at. I've had to be back and forth speaking to him. I really had to keep myself together. There was times that I just wanted to give up. But last week I had a breakthrough with him and I found out where I am, because what I found out, music production is a humongous situation. It got so much, there's too much going on. And they keep building and they keep building and they keep changing it because they've got so much money where they're able to just keep creating more and more and more. So you need to find out where you are. What industry are you in? You don't need to be doing everything in it. Doesn't matter if they're bringing something new and innovative. It's not always about following the latest trends. Even my teacher was saying last week he feels outdated. I said, no, you're not. You haven't even worked with what you've done already. There in life, we've done so much, but we think, oh, the next thing's come up, so we've got to be on that. No, you need to really look at around you and see what you're about and what you've already applied. Because this reality can make you feel like you're supposed to be involved in the trends. Then it's just going to overwhelm you. Okay? So now I realise now, from all the information I was bringing into myself, it was stressing me out. So I only need like this segment of information. So I've had to niche down when it comes to music. Enough is enough in me taking on too much. And no, I'm not outdated either. I don't care if my work is still from 10 years ago. So this is what you need to look at. Your own steps, not other people's. That's the point I'm getting at. Even my teacher, I had to say to him, because I'm a coach, no, you're not old. Look at what you've got. Look at what you've done. Because you've probably got loads and loads of music beats that you haven't made so far. To go and look back at it and go and sort it out, because someone needs to hear it. But because all this new stuff is coming out and he's constantly looking and picking up new stuff online, he thinks he has to be involved. Now, I don't mind helping my teacher out for free, because that's what I do. He's helping me out. I pay him. But I will not hold back on my reality because somebody else is telling me that's the way it goes. So you need to be mindful of your steps. Okay? So the goal is never perfect. If you're looking for perfection, then go on Instagram. And you can have all the perfection in the world there. Okay? But when you are doing your micro concept steps, we are not looking at perfection, because we are looking at the steps. And we are practicing. Okay? So the goal is not perfection. Remember that. Please write that down and please remember it. The goal is consistent small steps. So we're going to go into segment 2. Because I want to be able to get you to understand through yourself what I'm talking about, for you to understand the past that you've lived, the present you're in, and the future, because it's not just about becoming her, it's all about future and about everything that's around us and all the resources that you've got here presently, because we have a lot. And now I'm not complaining, but we have far too much now, so you have to be careful. So one end we didn't have enough, today we've got too much. And believe you me, I know that because I keep producing more and more, because I'm a creator. I keep producing more and more and more content. And I can't seem to steer away from producing more. I'm trying to get out of it and stay with my niche. And also I'm trying to, what is the word I was looking for? Just produce my digital products. I do digital products as well. And just stay where I need to stay, because I've got more than enough. I don't need no more. So all of this, just look at it in order for you to wonder why you might be stressed out. You might not be getting the results that you're looking for. You know, there could be a number of reasons why you haven't manifested the so-called bigger goal. Do you want to manifest £1 million? Yes. So if you're there within yourself, then, and you haven't reached it, there could be so many different reasons, because I do help with social media growth as well. But you have to understand yourself. All right. So now I'm going on to segment 2. So this is about awareness. Nothing changes until we notice what is actually happening within us. Yes. So sometimes we move through life on autopilot. We repeat the same thoughts. We repeat the same reactions. And we repeat the same habits. So micro concept work is about having habits that can really support you. Now, habits are, you can change the habits. I'm always doing that, having good habits. Like you can have a habit tracker. Go and look up habit trackers. We'll talk about that another time as well, because habit trackers are very good. But what I notice is people can show you, I'm always using online example because this is where it's really happening humongously. Show you habits, good habits that they've got, maybe exercising, eating healthily, and everything looks aesthetically pleasing, but you don't know what they're really doing behind the scenes. So when you are trying to transition into habits that you generally want, like you might want to do stretching in the morning, because I like stretching, I don't always get there every single day with my stretching. I might want to eat very well every single day. I cannot cook every single day. It is too time consuming, and it stresses me out as well, especially because I'm a plant-based eater. So it takes me a lot of time to put together the recipes that I like, and I'm learning new recipes all of the time. So yes, it's okay to have those good habits, but with Microsoft self-concept steps, it means that you're building up on these steps. So say for instance, you learn a new recipe, say every month, or no, say every week. 2 years time, you might be an expert plant-based cooker. So I'm hoping I'm getting you to understand. Or if you want to build a certain skill, if you do your micro concept work every day, maybe 3 tasks, where are you going to be in another year? Where are you going to be in another 6 months? Where are you going to be in another 3 months? So you'll be able to build some type of timeline over time. If you're a beginner at Microsoft concept work, you're not going to fully understand your actual what can I call it, your identity, or what you're really trying to bring into place, bring into your reality, I call it most of the time. Yes, so be patient with yourself, because I understand what I'm talking about, because I have realized a lot in my life through, I will call it manifestation. You can call it something different. Some people don't like the word manifestation, so you can call it what you want, but you are creating a reality to become the woman that you want to be. Yes, and sometimes it might not be what you want. You can change. You don't have to do what you thought that you wanted. So don't think you have to keep doing it if it's not for you, if it's not making you happy, you know. And this is what micro concept steps is about. If I say work, sorry, because I'm always going and making a mess up there when it comes to the work and step. We're talking about the steps. So it's good for you to understand your steps, because you will be conscious of what you are doing instead of unconscious, because there's been plenty of things that I've done and it just didn't serve me, and it actually made me very depressed. And if I had have known consciously the steps I was taking and how is it making me feel, tap into your five senses. Because a lot of the time people are doing things and they're still stressed out, but they're saying, oh, it's paying the bills. But we are powerful and we don't know our own power. So we don't know how to create. This is what it is. And then you're not going to understand how to create your reality to serve you, because we are powerful human beings that are able to shift our reality to make the changes we need. So I will try my best to explain it, but I cannot explain it as fast as I think everybody would love, and I wish I could, because I know it's not been taught, and it's definitely not been taught as slowly as I do, because I spent a lot of time searching for happiness and peace and to feel whole and complete within myself. And a lot of people were giving me pie in the sky dreams, and none of it made the changes that I believe they were telling me. So I'm not saying that it wasn't right. What it was is I had to go to so much different sources to gain this knowledge that I have here and now. And really all I wanted to do was be the woman that I always wanted to be. So we'll go into that another time. So like I said, we need to take like a small reflection. This is what I would like you to do for yourself, to reflect on where you're at today. If you might have to go into your past a little bit, fine, but be careful there. If it's a negative past, do not try and stay there too long. But sometimes our past self will come up. My past self still comes up. But this is what becoming her is about, making sure that we jot down the happiness that we are seeking. That's what's most important. Okay? So ask yourself, what is one thought or reaction I notice repeating in my life right now? Like I just said, a past thought will come. So if you can write that down, I'm going to say it again. What is one thought or reaction I notice repeating in my life right now? And it's called a loop. And we don't want that. If it's a negative loop, that is, we do not want that continuing. If it's a positive loop, fine. But if it's a positive loop, that it has to be shifted still in order for you to get to your next step. Only you will know that. Like, alright, I'll give you an example. I've got clothes here that is thrifting. I need to put them up on eBay and all these sites, vintage. I just haven't got around to it. My daughter said to me yesterday, what are these doing here? They're not supposed to be in the front room. The front room just looks cluttered with thrifting clothes. I've got clothes upstairs, I've got clothes downstairs. I just haven't had the time to do it. But when I really, really think about it, I need to move from A to B with this situation. And I need to sort it out. So I'm in a loop of not putting the clothes up. I remember when I first started thrifting, I didn't enjoy it, because I just wanted my brand. That's what I wanted. I want my tracksuit, my easy wear brand. I want to be up there. I want to be big. But I cannot. When I say that word, it's not even right to say I want to be up there, I want to be big, because that's not even good to say. Because that's going to make me see too high, like I'm in the sky or something. And that is stress. So if I cannot sort out the thrifting clothes, how can I sort out the brand? It's not going to happen. So my starting point is getting out of the loop of saying to myself, oh, I don't want to do it. If I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. I do like doing it, but I need to find the time. Where I'm going to find the time? I said last week and I'm going to do it. I haven't done it. Because I have to go online, put the clothes up, put the description up, sit down, take the picture. And I'm now finding it a little bit more enjoyable because I've been practicing within myself to make it enjoyable. And I've been seeing like a whole different concept coming forward, which I can't share yet. So I've been practicing, and other avenues of making the thrifting more exciting is coming through. So I said, okay. So the vision is growing. So it's not just about me putting clothes up on eBay and Vinted, because I used to do a lot of photos, a lot of modelling pictures, and something grew within me. I think it was Saturday. So it's getting more exciting. And I will be able to share this journey because I've never shared this thrifting journey online. So that's just a small example. Look at it like that within yourself. What you're trying to grow. Why is it not growing? Because you're looking at the end result may be too much. It's good to see the end result. I'm not saying it's not good to see the end result, but that's where you need a vision board. But this is micro concept steps, making those steps enjoyable in order to get to the end goal. And when you get to the end goal, then you're going to have another end goal anyway. So it's going to be continuous. So you have to understand that you're building a momentum. Yes. You're building an environment that's going to serve you, not hinder you. Like my house, I said today, I always talk about this house as well, cluttered really badly. I need storage, I need a lot of things. But it got to the point where I just left this house for so long, but I've been piecing it together bit by bit. And even though I'm not where I want to be in how it's presented, and I'm still like visualizing my new home, my belief levels has rose because I've been practicing the areas that I need to practice. This is why we practice. So if you're stuck in a rut and you just don't believe, say for instance, that you're going to get that move, you're not going to get it. So you have to practice. This is the power we have. Practice through micro concept steps. You seeing yourself in that new place. This is what practicing is. You have to do it. You cannot get out of it. Yes. And what type of place do you want? You can look at pictures if you want, but I like to sit down, like close my eyes sometime and see the place that I want to be in. And sometimes I might get some inspiration from a picture, but most of the time I like to use my feelings and see it and say to myself, okay, and believe it. That's very important that you believe it. Okay. So what one thought or reaction I've noticed that I'm repeating, because if you're repeating the same patterns, you're not going to be able to shift forward. And I know sometimes I want to add this as well. I know sometimes people find it uncomfortable when they have to shift forward from like I'd say maybe an old belief or a thought or a life that you've been living, and because it's just been there for so long, it's like this is how it is. You'll constantly probably think this is how it is. But what you can do is just constantly write down what you want. And I know a lot of people get maybe frustrated. I want to go by what I've been through. Frustrated with what they're seeing and saying to themselves. Because you can be stuck in a reality that's just not serving you. That's really what I can say. Don't put yourself there. Find whatever you can. If it's pictures, if it's affirmation, if it's inspiration from others. Do whatever you can do to practice your way out of the old self. If it's hurting you, if it's hindering you. And if you, like people say, when you want something positive as well, it can hurt you as well, because you want it and then you cannot see it and you cannot feel it and you do not believe it. Yes. So the next step is about adjustment. So I'm hoping that this can help you. So this is the third step. Okay. So it's called micro adjustment. So I'm just going to pause to make you think a little bit of what I've just said. So a micro adjustment is a small shift. This is all you need to do in behavior or thinking. Even if it's one thought that you change. A behavior. What behavior do you want to change today? It could just be one thing. So you do not need to overhaul your whole life. Because I'm telling you, small steps make big advances. Just one small shift. So if your thought is, I'm not good enough for this, in what you want to transgression into, think about it. Why are you saying that for? So the micro adjustment could be, I'm learning how to grow into this. Think about that. I'm learning how to grow into this. I'm learning. So you are good enough. So a lot of us are not aware of these words because the old self will come back and tell us the rubbish. So remember, you say you're learning. So when you know you're learning, I would stick these words up around me so I remember. We're not supposed to be hard on ourselves at all. The world has made us think like some of the world, that we're not good enough. And that's not true. So if you have a habit that you're avoiding and it's something difficult, write it down. And see if it's difficult anymore, and see why is it difficult. And try it for, like, the micro adjustments could be tried for like 5 minutes. So anything that's really trying you and you really thinking about it and it's really trying you, it's really stuck there, it's really not shifting. I know, because I go through this still today. There's things I still go through. It doesn't want to go away. It doesn't want to leave you, and it has to go. Try it for 5 minutes just to get it unstuck, because that's all it is. You can call it, it's a someone said to me they don't like this word blockage, but it is a sense like a belief blockage, like it's clumped together because you haven't grown into who you are meant to be. Because we're all supposed to be someone. We're all put on this earth to be somebody. But like I said, the information has not been shared for reasons. I know why. And also, people are not really taking the time out to explain. People are just rushing, because I'm noticing in videos people think it's cool to just speed talk. No, this is people's life. This is real life. So take the time out to say, this area of my life needs looking at. Please don't run away from it if you're that type of person. Please be patient with yourself, and don't feel fearful. Don't feel like you're doing something wrong. Don't feel like you're not allowed to. This is some of the thoughts you may have. Don't feel like it's too hard. Don't feel like, oh, it's only for that type of person and not me, or it's for that this pretty girl athletics is out as well. Don't think about that one, because that's another thing that's generally getting on my nerves as well. The only reason why we were given so much is for us to take care of ourselves. Looking after looks is for self-love. It's not for pretty girl aesthetics. Whoever's carrying on like they're more prettier than another person, you've got some issues. Because there's no such thing. We're all beautiful, every single one of us. I don't care what you look like. Maintenance is good, obviously. It's good for us because it's fun for one. It's good for self-care. But when you actually look at yourself and you start finding what type of clothes you're supposed to wear, what type of not what anyone else has said, what type of hair you're supposed to have. Yes. When you truly look at yourself and really zone into your life and start loving yourself, and not because really what I'm trying to say, from all of the images we've got out today and all the videos we've got out today, it's very hard for us to say our life is good enough if we don't see how another person is claiming this is life. It's nice to get the inspiration. I say this all the time, but what is not nice is when you may not be fully loving yourself, because truly what this life is about is that we truly love ourselves first more than we love another. So yes, you might be, I'm talking to all ends, multi-millionaire or more or not. But it shouldn't really be affecting you if you're not got what the multi-millionaires got. And then you don't know if the multi-millionaire is happy because they've got a hell of a lot of work to get on with at the same time. So who really knows who is having a grand time, unless you are living with, I will say her. Her means you, obviously. Because we are not the same. We might have a group that we go and join, or we go to an event that we love to go to, or we watch our favourite show on TV. And then you will say to yourself, yeah, I want to be just like them. But are you living their reality? Why do you want to live their reality? Why don't you want to live your own? So I like to watch them for a time. So this is where the micro concept steps come in. Don't run away from yourself. That's my point. Because it's not going to go away. So you can distract yourself as much as you possibly want. But like I said, spend 5 minutes to change what's one thing. And it will make you feel happy. And then you're going to want to go back and do another one thing. And then you might want to go up to 5 things. Yes? And then what's going to happen, you're going to gain more confidence. And then your habits are going to shift into the habits that you are going to feel pleased towards. And you're going to have an identity shift. And it's just going to happen naturally. And you're going to turn around and say, hey, oh my gosh, my life has changed. But what it is, at the end of the day, you have to take the steps and then continue doing the steps, because we are always growing. We're always changing. And that's something I will explain in another episode, why this happens to us as women. Men go through it as well. I've spoken to men on all different financial levels, because I know everyone's about finances, which we need it, but it just runs too deep when I have to speak about that as well. And they still need to grow. The richer ones, I say the rich one because people like to look at rich people. They need to grow as well. Why? Because we are humans that evolve. God put us on this earth to evolve, to grow, to have a good time in it. Development. It's like a child always has to develop into different milestones. So why did it change for adults? People didn't want to take the time out for adults no more. A lot of adults like to mock very negative, don't want to be positive, like to hold people back, only holding themselves back as well. So we need to change, all of us, we need to grow. We need to learn to love it as well. And look at the areas in your life that you want to have in your life, because you're allowed to have it. You can have it. It belongs to you. It's your life. So enjoy your life. Love yourself. Self-love. Okay? So what are you practicing every day? Write that in your journal. What are you practicing? Know what you're doing. I know what I practice every day. Do you know what I want to practice more? Stretching. I've been doing stretching for some years. I watch a lot of videos around it, but haven't been experiencing enough, because I haven't reached the destination that I want to reach, where my body is not as flexible as I would like it to be, and I've been doing stretching for some years. So I watched another video, and what it is, it's a lot to do with mindset with me, because I don't stop watching stretching as well. Mainly I say I'm going back because I want to get to the splits. So I was talking about hip reflectors, like making the hip open up. I've been trying to open up my hips for so many years. So I said, you know what, I know I'm going to reach this destination. So I saw a bit more of a long-term plan, like I saw 10 years ahead, and I said, you know what, I've got that length of time. It doesn't matter the age. And I saw myself 10 years time, no matter my age, because I'll be 50 on Tuesday. And I said, well, yes, I still need to get on. It doesn't matter if I look wrinkled and I'm stretching. It's all about my health. So I've got to go for it still. So I know I've still been practicing. Regardless of how much physical work I've been putting into it, I've still been doing something about it. And I might read books a lot of the time about exercise. I'm always doing something around exercise because I love exercise. Yes? So you may feel like you're not doing too much, or you're not seeing the results you want to see, but you need to praise yourself, and you need to practice gratitude as well. Get a gratitude journal. I've got one upstairs that I use every day. I write down 3 gratitudes every single day, because you're living your life. If you're looking at someone else's life, then you're living their life, and then you're sort of like entered into their world, and it's not your world. So that's why you're not feeling yourself, and you're not loving your life, because you might criticize the bills and say, hey, I've got so much bills coming in, I cannot afford to pay, I'm in debt. These might be the words coming through your mouth. I've met plenty of people like this, and when I tell them to shift their way of speaking, they want to tell me, I don't want to be lying, all this all the time. It's not a lie. If you've got to better your life, speak more richness over your life. It takes practice, again, like I said, and it does get irritating when you're speaking about something that you want today. I'm not going to deny that. I've gone through all of this. It's very irritating. But it'll get to the point when you learn how to be peaceful. I do suggest you listen to Neville Goddard. If you're very, very skeptical and you need a shift, you are not going to believe what I'm saying, and you're not going to believe what I've just given you, this man, Neville Goddard. You're not going to believe a word he's saying. But if you really want changes, like I said, you will keep practicing until you get the outcomes that you want. Until you reach your goal. If you want to say goal, you can say that. But I say micro concept steps for you to do the small steps. And why I'm saying the micro concept steps is for you not to generally get upset about anything. You got to be peaceful with yourself during the process. This is why I'm talking about micro concept step, and why I'm not saying what the work yet. Because when we're feeling stressed out and we're feeling frustrated, and then we don't believe that any change is going to happen, or we're stuck in a situation that is not pleasing, and then you're seeing it seems like everyone else's life is going so well, just going to end up feeling very down. And then you're just going to end up in a very dark place. Just because you've seen somebody else and you've believed that somebody else is greater, and plenty of people go on like they are. But all you need to do is speak power over yourself, speak life within yourself. And when you listen to certain people, try and take on the good words they're trying to put into you, if you can. All right. And what you'll find is the more you write the goodness over yourself, the more it's going to come into your life. And don't be scared of anyone. There's plenty of people out there who will try and make you second guess what you're trying to achieve, especially if it's something that appears to be something brilliant and big out there. If you've got a dream that other people have not even tried to reach for themselves, and there's so much jealousy around because there's so much scarcity around us, because they're not listening to the good people that are giving them the good advice. That's why they have not reached their potential. But I know there's plenty of people that pull people down because they seem to think they're overtaking me. No, how can someone be overtaking you if you didn't put the time and effort into yourself? So know who you're talking to about your practice. And they're not doing it, so they're going to think, ha ha ha, what's she doing? Ha. No, that's your practice, like you was practicing the guitar and you expected to improve on the guitar. But how are you going to improve if you're not in the right environment? If you're not in an environment that's supporting you? You have to find a way to support yourself and say, hey, forget about the haters. They don't even love themselves. So I need to do that for myself. I don't really need to speak to people about it. But at the same time, you don't really need to be around people that are not talking your language. Or if they're not talking your language, because you're still trying to get from A to B, you need to not take offense and just ignore them. Because they're where they're at and you are where you're at. You need to know yourself and where you want to be and say, hey, okay, this person doesn't know how to talk. Yeah, you might care about the way they're talking in order for them to be okay. Or if you're in a relationship and you now have decided to come into this new space and your partner just hasn't got any clue about this new language, he's going to have to, or he's going to have to be supported. And in hope that sometimes relationships break up in this situation because she becomes more positive and he is just adamant that no way, because the way I speak is fine. And then she's trying to wake him up to make him know, listen, we need to create a reality that's going to be more pleasing. It's going to be more easier for us because now we need to, I'm talking from a sense of bringing more money in. Because the money one is a humongous problem, because especially when people have been given outdated beliefs to think, oh, money's not everything and I don't care if I'm rich or poor. I've heard it all. I've been through this myself. I've said this myself when I didn't understand any better. But it came a time where I couldn't pay some certain bills. I got in debts. So it's no good for me to say, oh no, I don't care about money now. No, it's no good to be talking like that anymore. I got to change the script. I got to change the story. I've now got to speak more abundance over myself. I have to. No point in me talking the poor story no more. And it's okay. It's not okay. No, it's not. So be truthful and loving to yourself. It's not, oh, I can't speak like that because, oh, it's modest and what people are going to think of me if I speak more money over myself, and this is the way I've been brought up, and we don't care. What are you living in? So practice. If you care enough about yourself, you're going to practice. No matter if it's here tomorrow or today, no matter if that person looks like their life is bad. If you want that, practice until you get it. I don't ever stop practicing. I don't care what anyone says to me. They tell me, but what about your age and what, like social media? Why don't you give up? Because nobody's really paying attention. I said, I don't care. Why should I stop? I have days where I feel, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I have days like that, but I switch it around quickly now. I have my days every single day, because reality wants to keep lying to me. Because I'll give you an easy way to deal with this as well. If your past has not been pleasing, I don't know what it is, just say you've always lived a good life. Every day. And then that past self will go away, because when you train yourself to say you've always lived a good life, or you've always lived a rich life, or you've always had what you might not have in your life, or your house looks really nice, or whatever, or you travel every day, that one can be difficult because you want the movement. You actually want to be on that aeroplane. So you might have to do a little bit more work on that one. If it's this, I don't know what you really want, or you might want that shop, hair shop, or that beauty shop, or you might want 10 beauty shops, or you might, nothing's impossible for us. We just need to speak it into existence. But I've been trying to do a group for so long. Who comes forward? No one, because they don't have the belief levels that I have. And it's dragged me down in so many ways, unfortunately, because there's only so much negativity you can put up from people that are non-believable within themselves. What's the point? God put us on this earth to create. Why some of us got creation out there and not you? Because they're making you think that you can't have it. And look at me, I just want you to worship the ground I walk on. But at the end of the day, we need a support system. Now, I've got a diivaglitz Facebook page, Become Her Diivaglitz. It's called Become Her Diivaglitz. I do vision board events at the moment. I will be doing paid events in the future. And I'm doing a web page. And I've got a podcast, Diivaglitz Show. Go and check it out on Spotify. And I do YouTube here. This is my main page. I did want to go on my Let's Talk page, like I said. But you know, I'm just doing everything myself at the minute because I really needed to get the right message. Diivaglitz is a brand, growing brand. It's taken a lot of work for me to put in. It didn't come on a plate. I did overdo it as well, unfortunately, because I did not at the time love myself, because I didn't know how to. I also got a self-love planner. You can check out the link on Instagram. It's diivaglitz 2. I'm going to be changing it to diivaglitz lifestyle, because I've now decided that I want to continue the diivaglitz lifestyle on Instagram as well. TikTok, I'm still creating the message and concept on there, but mainly TikTok is self-love. Okay, because I was a perfectionist, so I had to work on becoming her and grow out of areas that definitely didn't serve me, humongously didn't serve me. So take your time, get yourself a journal. If you can write something every day in what you're trying to practice, fine, just go for it. Yes, and you will second guess yourself at time, but if you can build up on that confidence to say, hey, I want this is what I want to believe in what I'm saying. I want to practice until I believe it. Not until you get it, but until you believe it, because you have to have steps. Because if you want it, you're just going to wait until you get it. Yes? So what you want to practice is knowing and having the confidence and having your values sorted out to understand that it's here already. before it's materialized. And this is where I really want to help women, because a lot of us just want the physical. And then you can have the physical. I've got absolutely loads and I cannot cope with what I've got. I've got far too much. So you can bring in so much resources and experiences. I've had a wealth of experiences. I realized yesterday, too much. So you have to know, do you really need what you're asking for? You can look at another and they can make everything look so comfortable, but really, are they really letting you in to really know the truth? So zoning on you, if it's not pleasing to you, let it go. If it's pleasing to you, keep going. If it's uncomfortable but you still want it, say it like I said, my stretching, keep going. I know why I'm doing my stretching, because it's going to be good. It is good for mobility. That's why I'm continuing my stretching. So that's what I mean. Anything that is going to benefit you in your future for your health. Money, like we live in a time where it's just money, so we do need it, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Even though I don't believe we're supposed to be in a money world, but we don't live in that reality yet. I think life would be a hell of a lot easier without it, obviously. But once you know the truth, that you create your money via your thoughts. If you cannot get to the thought because the thoughts are too stressful in your head, write it down. Listen to Neville Goddard. Very good. Every day he will make changes to your life. I do recommend you buy his book. He's got audios. Obviously you can get books on Kindle, but I always recommend the physical books. And whatever changes come up, if you didn't write it down, one thing I want to say, something came up for me. I'm going to get a phone call tomorrow. It's personal to me, so I'm not going to tell you exactly who's calling me. But I've been doing a lot of money work. So I was thinking, this phone call that I'm getting tomorrow is not. First of all, I was saying I don't really want the phone call from this person. And somebody else told me they had a dream or something, and it's on the same lines, because I wasn't looking to go in this direction. I said, okay, and these people are calling me as well. So I said, okay, I'm going to take their call. So it must be the direction I'm supposed to take. But it's only today that I said yes to it, because I've been doing money work. I said, okay, maybe it's the right thing to do. I'm going to take this direction and continue with everything else I'm doing. But sometimes it may not be what you've written down. Something else might come, but it might not be something that you think is maybe luxurious enough or going to make you happy, but it might be there to get you to the next step. So I hope that's making sense. So just choose today, if you can, one small step. So I'm going to be closing now, because I've really expressed a lot today. So as we continue the series, we're going to explore different micro concepts that help us become the woman we want to be, because it's stepping stone, so we'll call it that. So next week we're going to go deeper into our inner dialogue that shapes our reality, and how we can start to rewire that conversation, because like I said, it's a practice. This is the second series and it does take some time, so be patient with yourself. I want all of us to gain our results. There's some results I've wanted for a long time, but I'll give you another example. I've been on social media for 8 years and I've not got anywhere near that I wanted to get. But you know what? I've got 8 years of experience. So I'm going to be making some digital products, because I can help a lot of people, and I just saw something humongous that I can give. But all that time of doing social media videos, I've done so much videos, I could have applied a lot of the work that I'm going to do now. I've got loads of digital products to create, loads. I know how to make products, I know how to write books, I know a lot of stuff. But why I didn't do it is because my image was made to believe, and I basically am telling myself off. You have to have such amount of numbers to produce this work. No, I didn't. Because if I produced the work, then I probably would have got the exposure that I was looking for. Yes? So this is what I'm talking about. Don't think it has to be like Z before you do B. Because now I've got far too much work. Not that I'm going to do the work, but I have to produce too much work. So I've got a lot of work for the next 10 years. I don't need to overconsume and do too much work. Where I suppose it's got its positives all over the place. But when it comes to positioning yourself, just understand that don't try and be led too much by what other people's in this time, what other people are saying and making you think and how it's supposed to look. And if you're in a sort of like a position where you're looking at a certain group of people, you will always want to follow their ways. Try and step outside and see your ways, because yes, you might look up to these people, but have you progressed anywhere? Have you achieved? Have you set your standards? Have you manifested? Have you created the results in your own life? This is what we're doing here, because they have, and we are going to get there. And maybe, no, not everything is going to come your way, but do you really need the everything? What is most important, I believe, is happiness and feeling safe and feeling fearless and feeling secure and having confidence and having a high self-esteem, knowing your value, knowing your worth, knowing your position. Not everything is about being seen either. But what I'm going to say for the last point, well, one of the last points is, I feel there's a lot that is not out there. And I feel like women need to really tap into their invention side, their innovative side, yes, their visionary side, and bring something new to the table. And start being more kinder to one another as well, because I don't think we're very kind to each other either. And the children, like my child, she just come in, it's Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day by the way, sorry, and she got attitude, and I'm going to have to do some work on her in the future. She's going to university in September, but she's not treating me nicely, and sometimes I speak to her rudely, because we're in the old self. This is how I was brought up, never was spoken to kindly. So there's something not quite right. So this is what we're all learning. So even if I speak to my child now about being polite, she's telling me I'm not being polite. So she when I tell her to be polite, she twists it around me and tells me I'm not being polite. So there's a work in progression that has to happen still with my child and the way she is presenting herself. And there's nothing much more I can do anymore, because I've tried with her and all she wants to do is argue. But that's teenage. Well, she's not a teenager. She's been doing it since she was about 2.5. Because she chose to look up to other ladies and not look up to her mum. My son is like me. He's very peaceful. But she's not. So be careful who you're imaging. Is it serving you or is it hindering you? Okay? So like I said, next week we'll go into a deeper dialogue and shape our reality and how we can start rewiring this conversation, your conversation, because the way we speak to ourselves quietly shapes the life we experience. And like my little girl doesn't understand this. She don't even believe me, because she's so interested in speaking the way she wants to talk, but she's going off to university, so she's going to realise her reality, because I'm not there anymore to pick up the pieces. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. Thank you for the one person that stayed on. I appreciate that. And remember, becoming her doesn't happen all at once. It happens through small practice with intention. So what do you intend to become? You will become her if you know and realize and are conscious of her. Become her, diivaglitz. And I loved this live. It's hard when I have to look at my notes and look back and forth, so bear with me. I do need to stay in the right structure and in the right flow for you all, because I want the best outcomes for us, and I know you're going to benefit. Please send me a message in the message bar below to let me know what has happened for your life, because I know you're going to transform, and I just want to know about it all. Please let me know. I would love it. So I'm going to go now. I love you all, beautiful people, and stay blessed, and I'll see you next week. I do not know the time. It might be between 5 and 7. Sorry, I haven't got a strict schedule because I've just started this series. So let me just build up the momentum and see where it goes. I do want it to continue. I don't want it to stop, but I do quite a lot of other stuff as well. And then added to it, I'm going to be going out there to be putting on some events. So I'm going to see how I can pivot, because I do think this live needs to continue, even if I have to carry it on when I do my events, because it's got to grow, and it's going to grow into something very, very nice. I truly believe, because it comes from God. Yes, God is how you see God, but God is love. Yes, because I know religious people do not understand me when I say that, but we know what love is. Love is kind all the time, all